Welcome to Celeb Central Africa.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Celeb Central Africa. We told you we're going to be coming back really soon, and here we are. We've got our co-host today, Dami. Dami, how are you?
Hey guys, I'm very good. I'm happy to be here again with my wonderful co-host and joined by our amazing guest host, India. I'm always happy to see your face, India.
Hi,
Hey guys,
Indio.
hi. Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure. I'm loving it. Thanks.
Thank you, guys. It's been a very interesting week. A lot has happened to all manner way. And we just had to get back on here to bring you guys these discussions. We've got 3 other hot topics for you today, and trust me, you will love it, according to the Nigerian way. So let's get into it. The first one is not so smiley, so let me get back into my zone and let you guys know what's been happening. So, a girl called Angelica Kelechi basically reported on social media this week that she got sexually assaulted at a big spa in Lagos called Sayria, Lagos. So this happened on the 21st of May. And she had basically brought her sister to celebrate her sister's birthday at the spa. She booked everything. They went there. She was happy. She got the cake. There was like champagne flowing. She was really, really happy, and you could tell. Why could you tell? There was a video where she was actually capturing the things that happened from when they entered the spa until the end. So she shared a video of her experience, including a video of the male masseuse who was assigned to her at the spa. So this guy basically was doing her massage, and he carried on to start playing with her and fingering her and doing stuff like that during the service, let's call it that. And she basically explained that she was in so much shock that she just didn't know what to say, and she didn't actually say anything at that time. Then she reported it to the police, and the police basically decided to blame her, saying that, what is a girl doing anyway in a spa? Tell me about it. Then she reported it to the spa, and she said the spa tried to hide this male masseuse. And then social media went crazy saying all sorts. People were saying that this happened multiple times. You didn't stop him. Was it after you came that you then decided to say something about it? So social media was going absolutely mad. And then recently, I just posted a video today where the actual lounge came with a press release. Let me tell you guys what they said. They said they are aware of the alleged incidents, that they were surprised at the turn of events because both sisters were receiving massages in the same room. They also said that after the treatment, both girls expressed satisfaction and even tipped with 25,000 naira. That the client did not report any discomfort. The next day she showed up with the police. That the management has put the staff member under suspension pending the outcome of this investigation. And that the staff is currently in police custody, and the managing director of the spa is personally overseeing the matter. That they've also reached out to the client regarding this issue, and they are treating it with the utmost seriousness. So that's the story, guys. Dami, what did you think of all of this?
Okay, so first of all, this is a terribly sad story, but it didn't shock me, unfortunately. And for me, there are 3 main themes that arose from it. So one is I learned of what a happy ending is, because this is something I've never heard of before, but I've now been educated on what this is by my husband. The second theme is the victim shaming culture of Nigerians, maybe Africans at large, but we're talking about Nigeria now, so of Nigerians, especially Nigerian males. And the third theme is police misogyny. So those are the 3 main problems that arose from this. So first of all, I was shocked to hear that a happy ending is a real thing. So if you've never heard of it before, a happy ending is that there are people who genuinely go into a spa and pay for the service of being serviced. Let me just put it like that. They pay for extras, okay? very, very tantalizing extras. To have
There's
what we
coming
call a
involved.
happy.
There is coming involved, is what Dami is saying.
to have the happy ending. Okay, I'm sure you can use your imagination. And the fact that this is a real thing, my husband told me this is a real thing that people pay for, especially women, by male masseuse. So that's why I was like, first of all, this is why that young male masseuse man thought this was even a possibility for him to do. That's why he was so comfortable for him to even do this, because clearly he has been doing this to other women who have been enjoying it, quite possibly. So that's where he got
Yeah.
confused, first of all. The second problem, like I said, is the victim shaming. The comment section of all of the posts around this saga have been so disappointing to me, but not shocking, because it's just full of men who I question, do they have any sort of women or girls in their lives at all? Because it is full of men saying, first of all, why didn't you refuse a male masseuse? Like, hello, that doesn't even make any sense. Like, do you ever see a male doctor? Do you ever get served by a male in any other profession ever? Like, there are even male gynecologists, like, if you don't know.
Yep.
So
Yep.
this is not a male or female masseuse problem, first of all. So all those men are just very uneducated, number two. And then the police misogyny is, I think, the biggest problem we're having in Nigeria. This is why victims hardly ever get justice, because when you're, first of all, when you report a crime, you get laughed out of the police station, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're ready to sort them out and drop something. And we all know what I mean by drop something, right? So apart from that, you actually, if you're a victim, they first of all shame you. They first of all
Yes.
shame you even more, make you feel more like the culprit, make you feel more dirty, make you feel more ashamed. And then they still won't even like do anything about it to help you get justice. So those are the three main themes and the problems that have come out of this story for me.
Yeah. Indio, what's your thoughts on this?
I think the sad thing for me is that I feel like Africa has no coverage for their women. I mean, look at the laws, the marriage institution in Nigeria or Africa. I feel like everyone always leave an African woman to fight for themselves. There's no coverage for them. Even the women themselves don't have each other's back. And that's a
Yeah.
sad thing, because I feel like that woman coming out with her story and everyone just having something to say, and everyone is actually just blaming her and not looking at the other side of the coin. And it's really sad, because I feel like it does, this kind of situation actually stop people from actually being vocal when they're in
Yeah.
this situation. And I give her kudos, because she's very brave to actually express what happened. And I hope this guy, goes all the way and get punished for whatever he did. But I feel like it's concerned that there's no value for the African woman, no value for life in Africa. That's what I feel from standing outside, and that's really sad. So
It really is. Yeah. Sorry, I cut you off. Sorry.
things like this should never happen. A guy should never feel comfortable to do what that gentleman did. I don't know. I mean, he said he did it, but I mean, it's sad. It's sad. It's just things like this should not happen. That woman should not come under fire like that until
Yeah.
everything goes to court or whatever, and then the judgment is passed. It's sad. It shouldn't be this. That's what.
And
That's
the craziest part is like I feel like Syria Lagos are trying to basically say, oh yeah, we're trying to like investigate this thing. But on the other hand, they're like, yeah, but she didn't say anything to us, but she was happy. So it's almost like doing two things at the same time. They have to be seeing that they are doing something about it, but on the other hand, they're trying to dispel the fact that it might not have even happened like that. And then they were like, oh yeah, so the massage was happening in the same room with her and her sister. I'm like, okay, I feel like now that this whole statement has come out, I feel like a lot more things are going to come out, because I think that girl, when I heard her, listen to her voice, she sounded like someone who probably is not even based in Nigeria. She sounded like someone who has probably lived abroad. That might be why she decided that, you know what, I'm going to come out and talk about this, because she has experienced other stuff in other places. And she even said that she goes to the spas regularly. Do you get what I mean? Like, this is not a new thing. So for her to be experiencing this, she really had to speak out and say something. So I really look forward to what's going to happen with this, because as far as saying that she dropped the case, but they reopened the case because they found this such a big deal. And she also mentioned, the main girl, Angelica, she mentioned that when she said that this was done at this particular spa, that some women responded to her that they are not surprised now that happens there.
Yeah, I think probably the spa is just fighting to protect its image. I think that's why they're that's why they have something to say, but it's all down to money.
Definitely. That's what I feel. So we'll see what happens with this one, guys. If you want the full story, go on our channels and you'll be able to
one more
see.
thing?
Yeah.
Can I just say one more thing about this? The other thing that I found really frustrating was the people saying, well, the fact that she froze and she didn't react immediately means she was enjoying it. Like, there is something called delayed response. There's something called fight or flight, and it's all around to do with shock. So in that moment, it is highly possible that her brain just went into like a frozen mode.
Yeah.
She didn't know how to react. She didn't know if she was in real danger or not. Do you understand what I mean? So
Definitely.
so people saying to her that she should have reacted immediately, and if she didn't, that means that she was enjoying it.
Yeah.
That's literally not, like, physically and chemically, that's not how the brain is wired. It is, you can have a delayed trauma response hours later, days later, weeks later, even years later. So again, it's just lack of understanding and kind of like lack of education, in my opinion. So yeah.
Exactly, because even if she left the place, like, and she was still in shock, and her sister was so happy from the celebration and enjoying the day, and the sister gifted the spa, that doesn't mean that something else did not still happen. You know, the fact that, like, nobody would want to put their face and come out and be doing all of this for nothing. Do you get what I mean? So let's just see how this whole goes. But Nigeria, Africa, I'm not surprised with some things that I see and the way some people react. And some people react as if, like, women that say things are not human beings. And I'm like, the fact that you're seeing it on social media doesn't make it any less true. They could be your sister, they could be your daughter, they could be your friend. It could just be a regular girl. Like, don't be assuming that because someone is on social media that, you know, their case is not as important. But yeah, we need to move on to the next one, because we could literally be here forever, guys. So the very, very next story is very short and sweet. So Tyla, our one and only Tyla from South Africa, has won the Best Afrobeats Artist at the AMA Awards, at the American Music Awards. The other nominees were Ashake, Rema, Thames, and Wizkid. Take it away, Indio, because you can start with this one.
Indio, please. Let me just say one thing quickly. First of all, the AMAs are trash. Let's throw away the whole AMAs, because clearly they don't know what the fuck they are doing for them to even give Tyla Afrobeat Artist of the Year. The whole award show this year was trash. Everybody slated it. So that's why I'm not even surprised that they awarded the very wrong person the Afrobeat Artist of the Year award. That is rubbish and nonsense. Nonsense and rubbish. That's what I'm going to say.
I disagree completely. This is an American Music Award. They have the right to do whatever they want to do and judge music however they want to. We have Afrima only have a category called the Best Global Artist Award for the rest of the world. I haven't heard anyone come and complain, oh, you're not including us, you're not this, you're not that. I mean, we need to honor and respect our artists. Firstly, Afrobeat came up with the platform to kind of like accommodate all African artists. Tyler, of all those artists, is the closest sound to American music. So I don't feel like they would just perceive the music from that angle. So when they go like the best Afrobeat artist, is from their eyes on what they think is the best from the African artists. You don't have to go, no, it's that guy, it should be this guy, is how they see it. So when if we have an award and then we now go like, oh, we feel like, who's even hip hop artists now in America, all trash. Drake. Say, oh, Drake is the best for Africa. And then we go like, no, they come and
Drake.
is what we
Not you
want.
using Drake as an example. Are you serious?
So we have the right to do whatever we want on our own platform. And so the Americans have the right to do whatever they want. I feel like we should stop looking out for what the Americans think about our music industry or what they have to say. They don't have a say on our artists. We should celebrate our own artists. We should have a big platform celebrating what we feel is African music. So whatever they think, it should be second. It's how they see it. We should
Secondary.
them on what we think is the right sound to African music, because most of them don't understand that there
Yeah.
are different category or genre when it comes to African music. They've all
Mm.
been under Afrobeats. And
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
not wrong because Afrobeats kind of like came up when we had like lots of African artists coming up into the UK. And they needed to find an umbrella for all those African artists, was mostly Ghanaian and Nigerian artists. So Afrobeats came up. So we now, and I feel like the more numbers we have, the higher we can push Afrobeat. So I don't even mind all African music artists jumping on that platform and going, yes, it's Afrobeat.
It's
Tyla,
us, yeah.
but I feel like her sound is very American
Yeah,
with a
for
little
sure.
touch of African music. So probably that's how or why they've celebrated her as the best Afrobeat artist, which I'm not going to knock. It doesn't take away from what Asake has or Wizkid or they're all exceptional artists. And already Nigeria is dominating on everything when it comes to numbers.
Regardless.
Yeah, regardless. And moreover, I mean, American Music Award is down. It's watered down. It's not what it used to be. So I
Yeah.
would like to have this conversation if it's the Grammys. But it's like American Music Award, man, they don't have much to say. I feel like American music is really down now. So it's what it
Yeah.
is.
People don't seem to be watching that much. And they had the whole Icon Awards and had what's her name? They had Janet Jackson there, and I feel like that was the biggest thing that happened. And then obviously there was also Jennifer Lopez, who was the host of that. And it was so crazy because I saw online that she did this performance of all the top songs right now, and none of the artists were there, but she dressed like them. I was just like, what's going on, madam? Did they even say yes to this thing that you're doing? So it just felt like the award. It felt like the
Just on
award
your
show was
point.
just all over the place. But in terms of Tyler, I think they just see her as she's African, she does music, she falls under that umbrella. And I feel like they're very simple-minded like that, and that's what they see. They see it from like the overall picture. They don't really know the nitty-gritty. Okay, she's more R&B, she's more this, she's more that. And also, like, if you look at other award shows in America as well, like for example, BET is coming up in June. Like, what's her name? Ira Star is the most like nominated, African person on that one. So I just feel like it just depends on where the award ceremony is coming from. Like many times they are not melanated at all. So they're just saying and feeling what they feel from the overall picture. Dami, did you have more?
Yeah, I mean, the Grammys are not that melanated in terms of the committee, the people who kind of decide who gets nominated, but they still clearly did their due diligence, because they were able to, narrow down and therefore award Thames. At least they got that one right, even though they're not melanated people on the committee, really. So I think it's just laziness. For me, first of all, when I saw J-Lo, I knew it was a wrap. I knew this whole show was going down the drain, because what the hell was going on with that? Look, as Amy said, all of the category for like artist of the year, like the biggest award of the night, none of them, there was like at least
They didn't
10, none of them showed up to the show. They all had like so many artists
They had
sending
videos from home.
pre-recorded acceptance speeches. Some of them didn't even bother to send an acceptance
They
speech. I was
didn't.
like, hey, like,
It
look at
was
the
so
disrespect of
bad.
this show. Like, that's why I'm like, our artists, like, as in, Nigerian artists, they didn't really lose out on anything, because this show is kind of a mockery now at this point. And also, to your point, Indio, and yours, Amy, yes, she is heavily more suited to the American palette. But also, let's talk about colorism, because it's clear that colorism is a big problem in America, as we know. Tyler being a light-skinned, mixed race, biracial, Indian, and African, person. She is of Indian descent as well, if for those who don't know. So clearly colorism plays a part in this as well, because she is more aesthetically pleasing to the
Yeah.
Americans as well, who, as you said, are less melanated. So there's a lot of factors in this
Yeah,
that
there's a
really need
lot.
to
Like,
be, yeah.
I feel like also like the young slim girl is also another another factor
Yes,
in there.
yes.
There's
And
so many things to say if we want to really like break it down of why, like, you know, because but to be honest, she is talented. She does sing really well. She puts the real effort into her albums. Like, we're not really trying to say anything on that side, but definitely for Afrobeats, she doesn't really push more towards that side. It's more towards R&B and pop and stuff like that. But yeah, congratulations to Tyla. And I really want to see what the acceptance speech was like and if she was there. So we'll see if we can find that video for you guys on our social media. But yeah, guys, let's go on to the third story of the night. This one is a bit of a dicey one. Right. So Ifedayo says that women over 30 should freeze their eggs. So Ifedayo is a lady who just got married recently to a guy called Frank Itom. They're big on social media. She does a diary of a Niger girl. She's really someone who is like really good in her career. Like, she's done a lot. She's invested a lot. She's a businesswoman and everything. She's an online big sister to a lot of people. So she definitely knows people that she's talking to. So she's 38 years old. She recently got married. In a video, she was showing herself, like, what's it called? Injecting herself before the IVF procedures. And she basically wants to go through the process of retrieving her eggs. And she was talking about how, you know, as you get older, there might not be good ones anymore. And she basically said single women at 30 should do the same. What do we think about this? If you are single and you are 30, should it be straight to the IVF clinic? What are we thinking, Dami?
Okay, so for me, I completely agree with Ifedayo. And I would not even just say single women at 30, women at 30 plus who don't have children yet, who want children, should seriously consider freezing their eggs if they're not ready right now, but they know they eventually want a family. It's something they should seriously consider. So I did some research about this, and I actually found out that after 30 years old, a woman's chances of conception actually drops to 20%. 20%, guys. Do you understand how
20.
low that is? And then
wow,
after, because in your late 20s, your chances are above 25%. So the minute you hit your early 30s, it goes down to 20. Now, when you hit 35, that drops even further. And then when you hit 40, that drops to just 5%. 5% chance of conception. So these are real figures. I've spoken to like fertility experts as well in different hospitals I've worked with. There are so many women, seemingly healthy women, who are having major struggles conceiving. I know a couple of my friends who are married and they're having trouble conceiving. It took me and my husband 4 years of trying before we had our first daughter. So I started to wonder, why are so many more people, women and couples, having this problem? And I do think it's a range of things. I do think it's our environment, the things we're eating now,
Yeah,
the
hormones.
stress in our bodies. Women are doing a million different things at the same time. All of those things have an effect. And also our careers, women are putting off having a family till later. We don't want to change our lifestyle, this and that, different reasons. So when I hear if a public person advising young women, because if you're in your 30s, you're still a young woman, right? But the fact that your chances can drop down to 20%, I really think that women need to think strategically if they really do want to start a family eventually. Because yes, IVF is there, but IVF is expensive. Not everybody is going to be able to
Super
afford it.
expensive. Yeah.
Not everybody will get it free on the NHS. That's if you're even in England. If you're outside
Mm-hmm.
England, basically your options narrow down. And also, we also need to consider weight as well, because this is something even I was told when my husband and I were talking to the doctor about why we're not conceiving after so many years. And he explained to me that being overweight is also a factor that can prevent conception, because it disrupts the hormonal imbalance of a woman's body, and the hormonal balance is crucial for ovulation. So there are many different facets of this, so I completely agree with her.
Okay. And dear.
Well, I can never understand the struggle of a woman. That's one. I don't really
And
have
Leo, for the people
to
who
say.
don't know, and Leo has 4 kids, so clearly he had no
Poor
conception
girls.
problem.
Have little. I thought about it. I think we're here in the UK. The pressure of having a child is not as much as back home. So it's crazy if you're married and you can't produce. The pressure is insane.
Because
So if
man,
you can do anything to protect yourself and give yourself that insurance that you will have a baby when you need one, because I can't even imagine the pressure a woman has, like, because they just see them as baby making machine. When
back
you get
home, yeah, they really do. They really do.
have that baby, the trauma that I've seen people have to go through, they will do everything, anything whatsoever. I mean, church, ritual, whatever, just to have that baby. So any assurance that you can give yourself, please do it. I mean, the best chance you have of having a baby, then you do it. I mean, for me personally, I've not had any problem having babies, so I don't understand the struggle. I've even kissed someone and they got pregnant.
Trouble, trouble, trouble. Please don't kiss anybody anymore. Thank you.
I'm joking,
That's
but serious point. I feel like guys should not be making that call. I mean, what does she
It's
understand? So
basically,
it's just our opinion and suggestion to all the women there. So some people just pick it up if you think that's for you. There's no need to not
yeah.
get that. Yeah,
And I
because
think that's it. Like, if you feel like that's for you, and if you feel like that's the route that you want to go through, and I think also people also just feel like, oh, you do the IVF, you do the egg retrieval, and like, yeah, everything is just going to be good in the future. It doesn't really mean that it's actually going to result in a baby. And many times they even say that it's better for you to freeze an embryo compared to freezing an egg, because by the time the egg comes out of the freezer and needs to get thawed and get used, many of them become not good quality. So imagine if someone has literally like put all their hope and dreams and future into creating this, and the little money that they have, they put everything in there, and it doesn't go the right way. What's going to happen? And funny enough, even a story of a lady who's very, very popular in the UK, Jessie J, like she had, what do you call it? She had done IVF to get eggs out, so to retrieve eggs. And she actually like got pregnant with one, and then basically had a miscarriage, and then she then met somebody, and then within months she got pregnant with that person. Now they have their child. So it's just to say that you might have one plan, and then that plan is not what results in the end products. And I have, family members as well who are like doctors. The man is a doctor, the woman is a doctor. They've went through all of this together for years and years, and they had like 7 rounds before it ever resulted in one even working out. So it's just to say that, like, I just feel like it's not, because you did it doesn't mean that it's going to work for everybody. And also you can make your own decision as a person. So I feel like if you are 30 and you are not married, nothing do you. You did not kill anybody. You are not going to die immediately the minute you turn 31. And I feel like definitely a lot of people now are having kids later on in life as well. So there are multiple things that people can also do later with their partner together. And many times as well, when someone has fertility issues or whatever, it's not just the woman. It is not just the woman. Many times it's also the man. And I think it's so easy for us to put this crazy pressure on the woman, forgetting that it's a two-sided thing. So I think it's just one of those things where do what's good for you. If you can afford it, if you want it, pray about it, do it. But also know that that's not the only thing that is going to get you to where you need to get to. It can work, it might not work. So it's just an insurance option. Do you get what I mean? I think that's the mindset. If you go into it with that, then knock yourself out. Anyone you want to do.
I completely agree with you, baby. Just talking about the I like how you brought in that literally it can be the man, because in African cultures, a lot of them, there is from the families, there is this automatic assumption that the problem is the
It's
female,
the
the problem
woman.
is the woman. And I've seen this instance where the woman was getting like, hammered by the family of the guy. They were like insulting her, pressuring her, because they did like 5-6 years had passed, which is for, African in-laws, it might as well be 58 years. That's what it feels like to them. So 5 years had passed. They were like, "What's going on?" So basically, unfortunately, the guy they 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 basically arranged another female for this guy. And do you know that, like, what I'm trying to say is he still couldn't get the other woman pregnant. The other woman still couldn't get pregnant. Do you get what
See,
I mean? So it kind of started to come about that the problem is likely the
to
man.
be him.
They've been like pressuring the woman, and the woman is not going to go out and like sleep with another guy to prove that, well, actually I'm not the problem, is she? So
Look, see, I have a
sometimes it is the
story
man.
on the opposite side. Let me tell you, we had someone when I was much younger. Let me not say where I was because it might lead to something. So, this man, everybody in town was like, he's been married to this woman for a long time. She's not having no children. She's not having any children. Years and years and years and years passed. It got to a point where the lady was just like, look, I'm tired. The man was just like, he doesn't want to be with her anymore, left her. The day this man left this woman, it didn't take like 1 year. This woman was pregnant, had a baby by somebody else. And that guy has been married since I was in university when this guy remarried. Not one,
Wow.
his wife has not gotten pregnant one time since then. I'm about to be 32 next month. So that's to tell you how long it's been. So the drama obviously came from his side, but the way they made this woman be this villain, and he was the one that left her. That's the craziest part. And now she has children, and here we are.
Look at God. Look at God.
For me, I feel like having a child is one thing that should not be forced.
You
I feel like
can't be
children is
forced
a
now.
gift from God,
Absolutely.
and just it's not a do or die issue, right? Because you can do it, and if it's not meant to be, you'll be just wasting your time. God just will embarrass you with a baby, and anytime you do what you gotta do, no, there's no need for name calling. And I feel like I really do, because I've seen people that have had issues not having babies, and then when they even expect the baby comes, in God's time, the child will come. And some people have kids, like the kids are killing them. So what was it?
See,
Yeah, so
Okay.
what's the happiness about having a child? I mean, just have to wait for the right time, God's time, and then you have your child, and then
that's
it'll
it.
be a blessing to you. There's no need to kill.
Definitely.
It's kind
No,
of like
that's
this, like invested in marriage and just doing whatever to make a marriage work. I beg, if it's not working, I beg
if it's not
bounce.
working, you can have all the children. If it still is not gonna work, it's not gonna work. Guys, we need to wrap it up.
Well, yeah, leave you because you don't have a child. Well, what's that? That means it was never really into you. It's not a, it's for me, it's just being silly. For me, you're like going into a relationship just because you want to produce. It's okay, but you can adopt. There's so many other things you can
There's
do.
so many ways. Yeah, there's so many ways. Yeah. So, guys, we need to wrap this up because time is going. It's been us at Celeb Central Africa, guys. I hope you loved it. Let us know what you think in the comment. What do you think about these women? What do you think about what Africa is doing to women trying to have children? What do you think about Tyla being the Afrobeats Artist of the Year? What do you think about Angelina's story with the spa? Let us know in the comment. Remember to like, follow, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Do everything you want to do. That's me from Celeb Central. You guys, any last words?
No, I just think we stand by the young lady, Angelica Kelechi. We hope
Yes,
she gets justice. Um, Tyler, congratulations, but you are not Afrobeats. And Ifedayo me, Ifedayo, personally, I agree with you, and women should look at all their options if they want a family at some point in the future. They should just take precautions to further ensure that that dream does happen for them. But that's it for me. It's been your girl Dami B. Thank you
all
guys.
right, India. Bye, everybody.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.